Hi guys, it's Rebecca, Crafting Journey, that journey chick on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today, da, 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 I have my looms out. I want to update you on my progress of looms, and I did promise a subscriber I would talk about what is the best type of loom for a beginner. And I'm going to show you some of the looms. Well, I could show you all of the looms I have. It is a lot. But just keep in mind, when it comes to loom knitting and crochet, I am not an expert. Don't claim to be. I am a person that's on a journey. You're welcome to come on that journey with me while I figure things out. I have tried a lot of different looms. I can tell you which ones are my favorite. Right now I'm doing this temperature blanket now on the loom. So here we got January. This whole thing is January. So I'm using the white just to kind of break things up. You'll see, I don't know if you can see the beginning of February up here. So as you can see, I'm doing increments of 20. So in the month of January, it was 20 to 40 degrees. I'm also doing low temps. So the low temp was 20 to 40 degrees all through the month of January, with the exception of one day, which was below 20. Well, February, that's not going to be the case. I've got one more row to do in this raspberry color. And then I'm going to be switching to that hot pink that you see here. That's going to go for probably 6, 7, 8 days because it's cold outside. Let me see what the temperature is right now. I'm just curious. Do, 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 do. Drum roll, please. 2 degrees. 2 degrees. Tootsie went outside today. She did her thing, came right back in. She's like, burr. Anyway, so that is, this is an S loom, an infinity loom. I would not say it's a beginner loom. And as a beginner, I mean, you can use it. I'm literally just doing a knit stitch on this. I've started another blanket in a very, as a beginner, I probably should not have done that. I started this other pattern, and I may go back to it and try it again. But what was happening is there were it was a 4-row pattern. So each time you started a row, it would be a different pattern. So 4 different patterns in this. And it was going along well, but then I put it away for a while. And when I would put it away and then get it back out, I would forget which row I was on. So if I do start that blanket again, I have to remember to write down where I am, which row, so that I know which pattern to go back to. Unless you just want to do like a quick knit stitch like I'm doing for the temperature blanket, I would not recommend this for a beginner. But what's going to happen is because you've left this peg open, this beginning peg, when you start here, you go all the way around, you follow it around, and you're going to end up back where you started. But you're not going to keep going. You're going to stop and then go back the other direction. And that will create a very wide blanket. Not king size, but it's a fairly decent size blanket. And this is a knitting board S loom. There are different types out there, but I'm happy with this one. All right, now for a beginner, there's 2 types here that I would say are good options. Both can be obtained at pretty much any store. This is probably one of my favorites. You know, as a beginner, this was where I started. And this pink one, the large one, I absolutely adore. It's probably my favorite loom. The gauge is just right for my head, at least. And I think I did this hat on this loom. So this is really very conducive to beginners. The gauge is good. This small one, you could do maybe little dishcloths or something, or a stocking, or a preemie hat. They have these little pegs on the end. This will show you where you've stopped and started, or if you're going in the round, you can count how every time you pass this. But on this one, you could maybe go back and forth, like I said on the Infinity. If you go back and forth instead of continuously, you could maybe make a little washcloth or something. If you're going to make a hat on this, it's going to be preemie, teeny tiny hat. I would go with this for a youth hat. This is going to be just a regular baby. And this is your adult, even though it fits over my head. Corona, the Loom Queen. I would say that this is, don't let the size of it fool you. As a beginner, you're going to go, whoa, my head is not that big. Don't worry, because yarn expands and contracts. And once it comes off this loom, as soon as you take it off the peg, it's going to contract a little. And because you're going around and around the peg, it's what you're looming or knitting is going to be dropping down into the center, and it's going to be smaller than this. Like I said, I made this one on this loom. So this is really a good one for beginners. There is one brand that you want to avoid. Make sure you're not buying anything that says Boye, B-O-Y-E, because the pegs on that are really not well designed. The other thing you could go with is an oval set. They come in twos, also widely available. They are really no different than the rounds. They're just a little bit more comfortable in your lap. This large one will make the same hat as this pink one. I've made hats on both of these just to see the difference. And same thing. It's just a very comfortable loom for your lap because of the way it's designed. But the issue with this is you're going to have to mark where you start. It is, for some reason, molded in two pieces and then put together. Mine broke, as you can see. It broke. It's not supposed to come apart. But there's actually a peg here that has a little indent in it. I don't know if you can see that. That's really where you want to start, but you might not be able to see that, so you could mark it with a pen, or you could put like a little teeny tiny rubber band around where you start and stop. So this is the same thing. You can go around and make a hat. You can go back and forth and make something a little larger, lengthwise. So those are the two sets of looms I would recommend for a beginner. You can do a lot of things on these looms. You don't even have to use all of the loom. Like, you don't have to go around and around. You could use there are some patterns that only call for maybe 13 or 15 of the pegs, in which case I like to use washi tape. I'll put a little tiny piece of washi tape where I want to stop and start, and then you're just making whatever the pattern calls for on some piece of the loom. So the patterns that are available for these types of looms are usually at beginners, and pretty much any beginner pattern you can do on these types of looms. Now, here's my progress on the Flexi loom. Now, the Flexi loom, that comes in chunky and small gauge. So I don't have the small gauge. I'm going to get that. It's probably like the only loom I don't have. So with this, you can, it's like Legos. You can just take the pieces apart and, you know, put them together any way you want. It has some that go straight, some that curve. So I'm doing this pattern that actually was, if you look at the video for this pattern, the pattern is actually done on a round loom. But on that loom, they only used 33 pegs of the, this is a 41 peg loom, but the pattern called for 33 pegs. So instead of using the round loom, I counted out 33 pegs on the Flexi loom, because I am making a hooded, it's got my hair in it, a hooded scarf on the cowl, or a hooded cowl is what I'm making, with this chunky yellow yarn. Now, I am at the point now, so what I did was I counted out 33, and it goes back and forth. So you can actually, where you stopped and started, you can actually take it apart so you can see what I've done. So this is going to be, this is the hood part. So I'm at the point where I just close it up for ease, convenience. So this is why they call it flexible. It's really cool. But I put a piece of washi tape here because now what I've got to do is I've got to go from the beginning to that 13. I had to count 13 pegs. So now what I've got to do is I've got to cast off this part of the hat all the way to that washi tape. And then this part that's left, let me take it off here and show you. So I'm going to cast off all of this part down to the washi tape. So all of this is going to be casted off. Then I'm going to continue, once I'm to here, then I'm going to continue with this part right here, which will make the cowl, the part that's going around my neck. Then I have to do this whole thing over again because it's two parts that you put together. It's not something I would recommend for beginners, but something I'm giving a go at. We'll see how it turns out. I mean, it looks pretty good so far. It's a beautiful, beautiful yellow color. I've never done anything yellow, so really cool. I mean, you can just do so many things with that. Now, this is a scarf that I made on, it's a double knit. So mandala is like a 3-weight yarn, but it's all such beautiful yarn. This is the mandala yarn. But it looks nice and thick. This too, I did the same thing with this. It's double knit. So the way I got that was on a loom that looks like this. This is also knitting board. Now, you don't have to use every single peg, but this came off of this loom, believe it or not. So what you're doing to get that double knit, and this again is probably not for beginners, is you're going to cast onto the peg and then you're going back and forth between the two rows. And it'll go down in the center, and it's making this really thick double scarf. It's pretty cool. Again, probably not a beginner type thing. Now, I have one loom that I have not tried. Definitely not a beginner loom. This is a sock loom. You can see how teeny tiny the pegs are. So that's going to give you like a really, really tight stitch for, you know, what you want for socks. Most of these looms come with their own hook. This one comes with the matching wood hook. So, you know, someday I'll give socks a try. You're like, do it, Rebecca, do it. We want to see socks. Yes, I know. here's some different hooks. So like the wood comes with the Cindywood looms. This is what you're usually going to get, is this thin hook, which I don't have an issue with, but if you want to do ergonomic or have something a little sturdier, knitting board makes this thick hook, which I actually like. It comes in packages of 2. It's not very expensive. And it's a little bit more comfortable. So those are the different hooks. So I'm going to say for the beginning loom knitting, if you're going through the department store and you're thinking, what do I want to buy? You can buy the Flexi loom. Just remember that there's 2 sizes. If you get the chunky, it's going to be a 5 or 6 weight yarn that you're going to want to use on it. If you want to use a 4 weight, go down and use the smaller gauge Flexi loom, and you can do pretty much any beginner pattern on a Flexi loom. Just pay attention in the pattern to how many pegs you need. Or you could do the oval. Just remember you're going to need to mark where you stopped and started. Or, you know, my go-to are these rounds. Love these rounds. I can make hats all day long on this pink one. Just absolutely love it. So those are beginning looms. Now, we could double up the scarves because it is that cold outside. Oh my God, it just got caught on something. Ah! Oh, so, there we go. I look like a polar bear. How are you guys? Boy, you're like, oh, let's fast forward through the looms. Today is Global Movie Day. Global Movie Day. So let's talk about movies for a few minutes, especially since it's so dang cold out. Like, if you look at that polar vortex, that it's just kind of dipped down into the country, down in Texas, I mean, everywhere it is freezing, except for where Mickey lives and my sister. 80 degrees. What? Yeah, and I love Florida. Yeah. But I love the snow. But I'm not even going to go outside today. It's not snowing, but it's cold. Tootsie went out and came right back in. Yeah. So, Global Movie Day. So, the reason I brought that up because the cold is today's a good day to stay in your house, and if you have electricity, God forbid if you lose electricity, oh my God, I don't know what we would do without the heater. But watch a movie. So what is the movie? I live by myself, so if I'm going to put on a movie, I'm not one of these people that enjoys watching a movie over and over and over again, with the exception of 1 or 2. I will watch The Sound of Music over and over and over again. Love it. But I don't, I don't love the last part of it, like where they're being chased by the Nazis, and I'm not crazy about the last part of it. But right up until the wedding part, I'm with it. I'm there. And then I enjoy, you're going to laugh, Dirty Dancing. I could watch that over and over again. Now, is that the greatest movie of all time? Probably not, but it's so entertaining. So entertaining. Watch me now. Work, work, work it up, baby. Work, work. Driving me crazy. Okay. If you want a musical to watch when it's 2 degrees outside, I'm thinking if I'm going to do a movie today, I'm going to do like a new movie. Now, there's a movie coming out about these 2 older ladies, or not older, like probably my age, and one of them ends up marrying Jamie Dornan, who, from 50 Shades of Grey, which is another movie I love to sit and watch over and over again. I love 50 Shades of Grey. I know, I'm crazy. I just think it's a really sexy love story. And I like that. I'm sappy like that. People are like, love story? Yes, it's a love story. Yes. Twilight, I will watch the entire series over and over again. My favorite is Breaking Dawn Part 1, the wedding. I know I like the wedding stuff. I just love that. And the kiss. Oh, you're like, okay, enough. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, I mean, what's your movie that you would watch in this kind of weather? You're stuck in the house. What movie are you going to put on? Tell me in the comments. I would love to know. I like Top Gun. I like Jerry Maguire. Like one of my favorite movie lines of all times came from Jerry Maguire, where he comes in and he's apologizing all over himself to the girl, and she looks at him and she goes, "Oh, you had me at hello." You can put in the comments your favorite movie line too. That's like my all-time favorite movie line. You had me at hello. So yeah, tell me what movie you would watch, because you got like 4 or 5 days to do it. um, I'm probably going to check and see if there's any new stuff on the on demand that maybe I could watch. I don't know. I'm watching so much stuff. I'm watching not the vampire, the originals. I'm in season 2 of that. I'm watching Outlander season 4, and I only watch one episode of that a night. It's like a fine wine. I'm savoring it. Like I want to go to the next episode, but I'm like, no, we're not going to rush through it. We're going to enjoy one episode per night. I don't want to get drunk on the wine by binging it all in one night. I could, but I'm not going to because then I'll have a hangover. So I watch one episode a night. It's so good. Such a good show. Anyway, and I am watching Below Deck. I'm on season 2 of that. Crazy reality show. Crazy. And of course, The Bachelor, which is only on once a week. Well, I don't know why I watch that silly show. I really don't, because, like I said, it's just silly. Although recently there have been a lot of bachelor couples that are still together. They're married. They have kids. Oh, the other show I'm watching, Married at First Sight, season. Oh God, I don't know what season they're in. 14, 15, I don't know. But last season, out of the 5 couples, I think 3 of the couples are still together. And then this season, they matched up. I want to say they matched up 5 couples again. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Yeah, 5 couples. And I can see like one couple, it's a train wreck. I can see that's headed for the tracks. Yeah, they're going to go off kilter and it's just going to be a horrible train wreck. I don't know how that matchup happened because this guy is such a jerk. You know, those kind of guys that are just really jerks. And like you could tell it right off the bat. They get married, and then you know how the minister says, "I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride." They kiss each other. They walk down the aisle. Then they go to this little table where there's some champagne set up, and they open the champagne and they sit and talk. Now, they've never had a conversation ever because they got married at first sight. And he starts telling her about his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, oh, time out. Cut. Cut. Yeah, not good. So I think that's everything I'm watching. So my plans for today, I'm going to get the house cleaned up a little bit. I would like to work on my sweater. I would like to finish that. This would be a great day to finish it. And then I'm going to try to get caught up on the temperature blankets. I finished the the one hooded scarf that it's a solid color that I'm going to give to Narita, but it's a more difficult pattern than I've tried to date. So yesterday I got really frustrated because I finished the scarf and now I need to start the hood part, and I just couldn't figure out the instructions. I'm really good at reading patterns, but I don't know if I was tired at the end of the day or I had to just put it down. I got really frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I cry. I'm like, "Argh," and I start crying, feeling, oh, I'm so, I can't do this. Oh, I'm terrible. Yeah, but I will pick it up again today, and then it'll come to me, and I'll be like, that's it. So I just have to walk away from it. Any project you guys are working on, if you get frustrated with it, put it down, walk away, and then come back to it another time. And it'll come to you, whatever issue that you had. And I know these things, but no, I get real frustrated and I'm like, what? Yeah, yeah, woe is me. Yeah, so, uh, anyway, goodness gravy. We can do this day in history real quick. Not a lot going on. Not a lot. Let's see. Let's look it up here. I did look it up this morning, but I was so busy gathering up all the looms. Oh, yesterday was payday, so I used my Premier. I had some Premier yarn. Cheryl sent me some, a notice of all the sales. I had some coupons, plus I'm on their reward program. So I got all of the yarn that, I said this particular yarn, if it goes on sale, it's called Eversoft. If it goes on sale, I'm going to get all that I need to make that ocean blanket, the Vanna, out of the Vanna book, the Vanna White Afghan book. So I ordered all the yarn I need for that. So that was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That was 13 skeins of yarn there. $2.99 each, and then I ordered another spool. I ordered, so what is that? That's 14, and then I ordered some this other kind, some sweet roll yarn. So I ended up getting like 20 something skeins of yarn for less than like $85, free shipping. Really good deal. So when that comes in, I'll unbox it. I'll show you guys. That's probably not yarn I'm going to give away, although some of the sweet roll may go into a giveaway. Not sure. Let's see, because I ordered some different colors to see if I would like, because I always gravitate towards that pink and purple. That's my jam, pink and purple. So I want to try I ordered something that was more springy. So you're like, spring yarn? That doesn't go together. What are you talking about? Okay, no, we don't want National Day. We did that. Okay, let's just see what's going on here in the world. Downhill skier. This is in 1998. Downhill skier Herman Mayer crashes in the Olympics. They said it was one of the most dramatic crashes in skiing history when he catapults 30 feet in the air and lands on his helmet and rams through two safety fences at an estimated 80 miles per hour. Amazingly, he only suffered minor injuries. I remember this because it was that dramatic. Yeah, so that is this day in history. Now, tomorrow, Valentine's Day. So, of course, my special guest is going to be my best friend, Mickey. And I just love it when we were able to get together on StreamYard and sit and chat with you guys. So she's been really ill, but she's feeling much better. She's got her spit and vinegar back. So we're going to have a good time on Valentine's Day. We'll talk about the history behind Valentine's Day. We'll chit chat. It's live. It starts at 11 Central tomorrow. There's a lot going on. Book club We're reading J.D. Robb, Naked in Depth. I had to think. Last night I was actually working on my the S Loom, the temperature blanket, the Loom temperature blanket, while I was listening to the book. Yes, because I like to do two things at the same time. And oh, it's so good. I only have a couple hours left. So book club tomorrow. Finish up that book. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what book we're going to read next. That's 2 p.m. Central. The link to the Zoom meeting is in the Crafting Journey Facebook group. And I hope to see you there. So, I mean, if you didn't read it, show up anyway, and then you can discuss, what book you'd like to read next time. So that'll be a good time. Anyway, I'm out. It's Saturday morning. I'm gonna go. I can't go get donuts. It's too cold. I've got stuff here to eat for breakfast. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna make it a good day. It's gonna be a crafting day. It's gonna be a movie day. Um, yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live. Love you all. Bye.